Well, something that I said a while ago is starting to show out. All we're waiting for, liberals, are the baby boomers to die. Yes, you see, as soon as the baby boomers are in the ground, a lot of politics are going to change. Because you see, the baby boomers are inordinately likely to stand up for everything that Democrats and liberals and Marxists want. You see, it's the boomers who are keeping us from punishing the communists and violent blacks. It's the boomers who keep insisting, because of their lack of knowledge of Islam, and because you see, liberal boomers and boomers in general, what they know about Islam is Rumi. That's all they know. They don't know anything else, and they know random people throughout their lives, political history, that they associate with Islam. They're like, I like that guy. I mean, you know, they still believe that, like, there's some relationship between science and Islam or something like that, and you know, where that's patently false. You know, it's no. Almost all their scientists were killed for apostasy because they had to refer to a source document that wasn't the Quran or the Sunnah and the Sirah, so that made it apostasy. It can't be true if it's not in those three books. That is the case. That will always be the case, and it doesn't matter now that there's a bunch of millennials who are shockingly unknowledgeable and shockingly dishonorable and dishonest, and then you have, say, Gen Z, that unfortunately they're one of the least literate generations that we've ever had since really the colonies, probably the colonies, because most people during the colonial period would have been readers of at least the King James version, and so, if not the Vulgate, which is something to think about, that at one time people read the Vulgate. I mean, just wrap your mind around that one, you know, that idea. But so something I was thinking about, that because of the Passport Bro thing and these videos I've been making, so that one, it's an important thing to understand as far as the idea of reproductive strategies. That fundamentally the reproductive strategies, there's a bunch of black people who have black sons who are becoming passport bros. Those people will win the game of evolution. They will win the game of life. If they have 3 or more children, if their kids have 3 or more children, that's it. They win. That's replacement plus. Now the next thing that I wanted to bring up is, why the Philippines? Why Romania? Why Czech Republic? Why these various places throughout the world? Well, note why not Oman? Why not Dubai? Why are black men not getting passports and marrying Iranian women? Well, it really is one, you know, for whatever, you know, it says. Remember, Filipinos, this idea, like, everyone likes, all these women are talking all this head about the Filipinos that these men are marrying. I don't think they've ever met any. I mean, really, I want people to really roll this around in their heads, that the criticism that people are making of the, you know, these guys, they go marry a Filipino woman, and then the things these women are then saying, American women, about the Philippines and Filipinos. And then I'm sitting back and I'm like, have you ever met Filipino dad? Have you ever crossed such a man? Have you ever seen one of these men angry? Have you ever gotten to hear what Filipino mom has to say about a wide variety of bad people? If you weren't raised around Filipino people, a lot of the Passport Bro stuff might seem strange, but this is the thing. The Philippine Islands have a culture that is steeped in honor culture. It's also steeped not just in Catholicism, but the syncretic nature of Filipino culture allows for then Freemasonry to have been key to the development of Filipino martial arts. Their names for their stick fighters are Guron. So that's from an entirely different cultural group. That term is from an entirely different cultural group. There are people who take things from the outside because they're okay with it. And then they fuse it into their culture. And that they've done this over and over and over again. If you study martial arts, most of you want to visit Manila because you know that if you visit Manila, you'll run into probably half a dozen of some of the greatest martial arts studios in the Pacific Rim. And that's because the Filipino people have a very, very interesting syncretic culture, and it's very disciplined and very honor-based. So when people are like, oh, these guys are marrying women from the Philippines, yada yada, where it's like, this is a pretty serious, what they used to say in the Bay Area is, well, you're going to marry her whole family. And because that's what's up. These men want that. So you have to ask yourself, do you want men who want the same thing you want? Because these women apparently do. That's the life that they want. They want a very family-based life. They want an honor culture. They want very disciplined, like the women keep the men in a lot of discipline. And they don't let anybody slip. So it's really one of these things that, because I grew up around Filipinos, so hearing a lot of what, I'm just shocked that I'm starting to really realize, wow, I did not realize how much black women really kind of hated Filipino girls. I never really got this. And, but it's become pretty clear. And from the whole Passport Bros thing, it's become pretty clear. So something I've had to think about with this is, okay, are there a lot of, do the men, when there's a family gathering, black women who are angry about Passport Bros, you're dating a guy, what did he see when he saw your family? Be totally honest. Just accept the pain. Was it all overweight women? Did he walk into something where it's loud, overweight women, and that there's very few men around? Because I'm sorry, that's not going to impress. That's not what a lot of men are looking for. They already have that. There's a lot of men that already have a lot of overweight, loud black women around them. It's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to just be what it is. That's the way life is. Life is too short. It could be long or it could be short, so you got to make the best of it. Yeah, people are probably like, what the fuck was that you just passed by? That's my tatami mats, because Donovan lives like a Japanese. I live like a Japanese karate master. My hands are deadly weapons. If anybody knows, I'm a master of karate. If anybody knows what presidential candidate I just imitated within the last few election cycles, you remember that? God, that guy was great. I'm a master of karate. I love that. Why is he wearing gloves? I'm a master of karate. It was so good. All right. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up because, a big part of this came up in. This came up when with it was the The HBD people, a lot of the HBD people start bringing up like, okay, because of Thomas Sowell talking about redneck culture and how like, oh yeah, they used to race steamboats. When they when it wasn't horse and buggies, they would race steamboats. And so this ends up transferring into a portion of Black American culture. And it was a portion of Black American culture that wasn't extremely religious. And now I think there's a lot of Black Americans that they need to start looking at the unique nature of Black American Christianity. I think there's a lot of Black Americans that don't realize, like, do you realize how fascinatingly unique this is and syncretic? It's obviously not something that was developed by the Catholics. It obviously wasn't developed by the presbyters. This is something that was developed by Black people a long time ago. And now it's become Christian. And the Psalms are a part of it. So I just wanted to bring this up because I don't like how defeatist all talk now is by Blacks. It's defeatist. Even Tariq Nasheed, just a race of defeated people, like of anybody. He's one of the people who really truly, I just sit back and I'm like, only a defeated people would think that this guy is some great intellect who speaks for them. And yeah. And so I'm just sitting back, like, it also just aghast at like how these Black women aren't getting it. Because I remember when there was some Black women, I want to say it was Ali. I want to say it was Shahrazad Ali, who was like, I don't care about mixed race. That doesn't bother me. Because remember, her father, Muhammad Ali, was famously against mixed race marriages and stuff like that. At least for himself, but I don't think he approved of it in general. And which is, I understand, is pretty normal for a social stance of the nation, if I remember right. And so one of the things I was thinking about this was that she had said, well, that woman's going to have a Black child. No matter what they look like, that's a Black child. I was like, because every few years, Shahrazad Ali would pop up on my radar, and I'd be like, God dang it, I always forget about her. Because she's one of the few people who, I mean, she is not a defeated person. She's not defeated. She has not been defeated. And so her takes are brilliant a lot of times. I mean, like, there's been stuff that she said that I'm like, you have turned the light box. I did not see it from that point of view. That's brilliant. And yeah, so just imagine that these people are angry at this, and it's like, and it's once you grow up, like when you grow up in real diversity, where you have lots of mixed marriages around you, whether they succeeded or not, that you're really like, okay, do you not understand that, like, this person loves their Black child? Like my dad, where he's like, I can't ask Black people for the time because they see this white man and that's all they see, and the looks they give me. And he goes, and I'm on my way to work so you can go to college. And this was just so hard for him as a white liberal it was hard for him. It was and really, I know what this was. It was betrayal. He's like, not only have I always been on their side, I'm way on their side, but they're not on mine. So when Scott Adams was like, there's no fixing this, the thing was, that was it. I'm like, you all don't know what you've done. That's my dad. That he literally almost looks like him. Like, I mean, Dilbert, that was my pop loved Dilbert. I mean, and so it's just one of these things. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing. But the white liberals learned. Soon, angry black people are finna learn.